everyone, and today I'm going to do a review of the 2008 reincarnation of the Prince of Persia series, suitably titled Prince of Persia. This version of the acrobatic action-adventure series sees you being introduced to an entirely new cast of actually quite unique characters. Well, there is only two, but, you know. Gone is the unnamed Prince of Persia that we all know and love, with his beyond impossible acrobatics, his irrepressible dagger of time, and his widely humorous bitching and whining about everything. And in is the new unnamed Prince of Persia, or what we assume is a Prince of Persia, seeing how he's the main character, who does even better acrobatics, albeit because of his cool gauntlet, and is a wisecracking, smooth-talking ladies' man, who likes to travel and keep secrets of his identity. Excuse me. Our new princess is called Elika. She is a being who is either a descendant of what in the game is the god of light, or has just worshipped him so much that it's gone to the point of stalking, which grants her magical powers that she uses to fight off enemies of the darkness. Ooh. The game starts off with the prince lost in the desert, who aptly bumps into Elika and gets caught up in all the bad things happening. What transpires is that the Dark God in the game is released via part of a treacherous deal and infects the entire land with his filth, leaving you and Elika as a team to clean it all up and ultimately save the day. Cueing some beautiful scenery, brilliant interactions between the prince and Elika, some tense boss fights, and ultimately what is a crappy ending. And what we have here is a very pleasing game that just sneaks up right at the death to just poke you in the eyes. Now to talk about presentation. As far as presentation goes, this game performs exceedingly well. When you scan the front cover and read the back, you already know that this game is going to be presented and played in a smooth, easygoing manner. And that's certainly what it does, with nice, fast menus, virtually no load time, a magical atmosphere and a modernised or cooler styling of the series, if you will. Presentation, overall for me, gets 9 out of 10. Graphics now, and graphically this game is a joy to look at and just, well, admire. It's as if you're playing a world-class hand-painted watercolour feature thing. It's one of the best and most memorable graphics I've ever seen. There is a scene right at the beginning of the game, and features and changes a lot during the whole course of the game, which will blow you away, not just with the size, but with the wonder of it. It's huge. But it's not everyone's cup of tea, because not everyone likes the cel-shaded look of games nowadays, and that's fine as long as you don't let that little minor detail spoil a chance to play this wonderful game. The frame rate at all times is perfect, but only on one occasion it did jump, but even though it was only one time, that jump was very, very bad, very bad. Animations are very smooth and very well put together, and are just as smoothly to perform. It feels very streamlined and very flowing, which features prominently throughout the entire game. One little niggle though that I do have is with the corruption, e.g. the Dark God's filth, when it tries to move towards you when you run past it. That is actually disgusting to look at. It's very, very bad. Aside from that little problem, graphics gets, from me, a full-blooded and actually deserved 9 out of 10. Sound now, and the sound quality of the game is a breath of fresh air to the Prince of Persia series. The score perfectly fits to every situation. It still makes you feel like you're in a place like Persia, but it's so original that you wouldn't be criticised by thinking otherwise. Voice acting in the game is of the highest quality, with many, many lines of dialogue as after literally every, even little event in the game, you get the chance to have a full-blown conversation with Elika, each with brand new questions, brand new answers and reactions. It's quite mind-blowing actually how much thought has been put into the dialogue. The only thing that drags this score down for sound is the voice actor who does the prince, the unstoppable seemingly Nolan North. I mean, I do agree that he is probably the best male voice actor in gaming next to David Hayter. But he's been in so many big games nowadays that I just don't want him voicing every single character that I play. I mean, it would be nice every once in a while to have a new voice voicing a brand new character instead of hearing the exact same voice in every second game that I play. But having said that, he's still a really good actor. I mean, look at Nathan Drake. So, apart from that, sound sadly gets an 8 out of 10. Still fantastic. Now it's the turn of gameplay. Gameplay in this game is good and bad, depending on who you are. Everything about the gameplay has either a good story or a bad story to it. With swordplay, you're either going to hate the fact that you'll never have to fight one enemy at a time, the fact that it's very easy to block and deflect, and it's quite slow compared to the rest of the game and all the other titles in the Prince of Persia series, and that there are lots of combos that you actually, surprisingly, have to consider when fighting an enemy. Or, like me, you're really going to love it. Acrobatic skills, you're either going to hate the fact that, well, wall running and climbing is as easy to perform and not totally fuck up as lifting a finger. Or you're going to love how all of the acrobatics require the use in some way of the gauntlet, showing a sort of realism, showing that it actually, if you didn't have it, you couldn't do it. But as the new abilities to run along ceilings and slide down walls are really cool or really stupid. One thing that is agreeable about the gameplay is how well the implementation of Elika's magical abilities for co-op gameplay is. As you use Elika's magic to give your jumps an extra push to cross across larger areas, or save you from certain doom, and to help reach places unreachable to any normal person, or to help attack enemies, adding even more combos. Another thing people will either love or hate is the fact that you can't actually die whatsoever, and believe me, I've tried. No matter what you do, even if you are literally crushed by a huge boulder that would destroy all your bones instantly, Elika just pops up and saves you, and that's it, you just start all over again. So, gameplay overall is a mixed bag, but you're either going to hate it or love it. But seeing as I fall into the love side, I'll give the gameplay 7 out of 10, which isn't too high compared to the rest, but isn't low in any way. And second to last is lasting appeal. Lasting appeal doesn't really exist with this game. Your first playthrough should take no longer than 12 hours, which is quite alright. Then on your second playthrough you should just be able to easily snap up all the remaining trophies and easily platinum this game. There is a DLC epilogue, but that is very short and probably not worth the money because it doesn't really look that exciting. So overall it's pretty disappointing, but the game itself is good enough that you can still come back to it way after you've platinumed it, play it all over again and still really enjoy it. So, for that reason alone, lasting appeal checks in at 4 out of 10. And now, for my final verdict. If you're new to the Prince of Persia franchise or are an avid fan, then you should absolutely give this a try. Even if you don't like the new Prince, you may be forced to be stuck with him, because I can't see Ubisoft resurrecting the old Prince of Persia games again, because, I mean, look how successful the Forgotten Sands was. I mean, you know. And for the final overall score, this game tallies up at 8 out of 10, which gives it a great rating, meaning that it's an excellent gaming experience that misses the boat on just a few key areas. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this review is better and more proper than my first 3, so feedback is much appreciated. Take care, see you later.